Hello everyone, welcome back to Marking Ariana Free. It's Leisha and today's Sunday, which means a new video. Today's video is very much like my Would You Rather next step themed. It's a Would You Rather Dance Moms themed. So I'm just looking now on my phone at my community tab at the 128 comments that I have on this, asking me would I rather situations. And basically, if you haven't seen my next step version of this, I asked my subscribers to give me 2 scenarios to choose from, and I basically just have to say which one I would rather have or do or be in, you know, that general thing. And I'm also wearing this top which says being kind is free, because I thought that was very apt with Dance Moms, because Dance Moms isn't the kindest show. Like, it's not known for being kind, and you know, being kind is free. So I'm encouraging you guys to be kind, even though Dance Moms isn't very kind. Also, before I start, I just want to say that I haven't really watched season 7 of the next step. No, I haven't watched season 7 or season 8 really. I've only watched pretty much up to season 6 of Dance Moms. So if my answers for that kind of related question aren't the best, that's why. I think Dance Moms pretty much went downhill after season 5ish, and I can't really stand watching the later seasons with the girls and the moms, and I might get into that depending on what questions are asked and why, but you know, let's move on. Would you rather have Chloe's turns or Kenzie's tumbling? I'd rather have Kenzie's tumbling, because as I've said before, I really want to learn acro tricks, and I really want to just be able to bust out like a back handspring randomly. So I definitely rather have Kenzie's tricks. Would you rather be the lead in a group dance or have a solo? I'd rather be the lead in a group dance, I think, because I personally think I'm much better as a group dancer, even though I would like a solo. I feel like I'd be a lot more confident in a group dance, and I also like when I have a special part in a group dance, because it gives you something to focus on and kind of a reason to like the dance a lot more. So I'd like the chance to shine in a group dance rather than having all eyes on just me, because obviously if you mess up in a solo, it is easier to cover with like improv, but I'd much rather just have a group dance to do. Would you rather have Maddie's mum as a parent or Kendall's? I'd much rather have Melissa as my mum, because like, I have to be careful what I say, because obviously these are real people, but I know that Dance Moms is very much not scripted but staged. Like, a lot of it is staged scenarios, but I cannot stand Jill season 5 onwards. I think it's what did it for me was when Bryn was sat in that room with Kendall while she was doing her rehearsal, and she wasn't like, she was dancing in the mirrors, which I can understand her being mad at, but also Kendall is the one dancing. Why didn't Kendall say anything?
Why can't Kendall just open her own mouth and say, you're in my way, move?
Why does Jill have to go in and yell at somebody's kid and call them stupid, and then when they come out of the room and they try and explain themselves, she says,
when the kids are learning their solos, you stay out of their way.
I know, but I wasn't dancing in front of her.
Honey, don't talk back to a grown-up. Just say, okay, I'll stay out of her way. Got it?
It was so uncalled for, and just, I know for a fact, if say Ashley, who's Bryn's mom, spoke to Kendall the way that Jill spoke to Bryn, it would be a whole different story, and Jill would be out of that place, raging, throwing things, kicking off. She'd probably burn down the studio. Like, I just cannot stand Jill after that whole scenario and episode. Would you rather do a trio with the Highlands or the Zieglers? I'd much rather dance with the Zieglers, because Ziegler, I don't know. Would you rather have Kalani's technique or Chloe's emotion? Kalani's technique always like amazes me, and her legs are insane, so I'd much rather have Kalani's technique. Would you rather be on Dance Moms or the next step? I'd rather be on the next step, because I don't think I'd ever go on Dance Moms, and I'd never put my kid on Dance Moms knowing the way that Abby treats children. Like, as much as the show is probably going to propel you into stardom, I wouldn't do it. Like, it's not worth it. I wouldn't do it for the money. I wouldn't do it for the fame. I'd rather have good mental health for me and my child than go on a show, ruin my mental health, but have money. Like, all that money's going to do is pay for your therapy sessions ultimately, isn't it? Would you rather have Brooke's flexibility or Maddie's emotion? I'd rather have Brooke's flexibility, because Maddie's emotion sometimes became very fake, like the Maddie face. Her later dances and some particular ones she does very well in, but things like just a standard Maddie face, I don't know, like I've never been that big of a fan of it, so I'd much rather have Brooke's flexibility. Would you rather duet with Bryn or duet with Maddie? See, I don't know, because same with Kalani, Bryn's legs has always amazed me. But obviously Maddie is my favourite Dance Moms girl. I'd rather duet with Maddie. Yeah, I'd rather dance with Maddie, because I feel like she's more of a... Oh, I don't know, it's a really tough decision. But I think just because Maddie's my favourite on Dance Moms as a whole, I'd just choose Maddie. Would you rather be as sweet as Chloe but not the best at acro and hated by Abby, or be Abby's favourite like Maddie and always have a solo and be the lead but have no friends and be rude? Maddie did have friends, like, and she wasn't really rude. Like, I know she said things when she was younger that are really quite arrogant. Like, I remember when she said,
I don't like to lose, but I don't ever lose anyway.
A child speaks and has thoughts that their parents or whoever's nurturing them puts onto them. Like, if you tell a child that they are the best, they're going to believe they're the best because they've been told that. They don't have the capability to understand that there's other people that are also going to be called the best. So Maddie definitely humbled as she grew up, basically. So I don't agree about that, about Maddie being rude and having no friends, because she does have friends. I don't know who I'd rather be, because now I'm trying to review the situation and change what the wording of the question is. Yeah, but I don't agree that Maddie didn't have friends and that she was rude. Would you rather be a part of MDP or Studio 19? I think Studio 19 is like their rivals in season 8. So I don't really know what they're like, but I know that they were harassing Michelle a lot, and the moms were then harassing Sarah and Michelle, and oh my god, Ashley and Stacey, can't stand them. Least favourite moms, maybe even worse than Jill. Like, I just can't stand them. Like, anytime Stacey speaks, I'm just like, here we go, just gonna start some drama. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. But I'd rather be part of MDP, because I've watched some of their dances when I'm trying to think of choreography for work and stuff, and that I just love their studio. Their dancing is amazing. Would you rather be in season 1 or season 6 of Dance Moms? Season 1, because I feel like the kids were kind of more oblivious to the way that Abby was treating them and how bad the situation probably was, like for their mental health and stuff. And they were kind of having more fun then as well, compared to season 6 where it was more just stress. So I'd rather be in season 1. That comment also says, can you say hi, Emerald? Hi, Emerald. Would you rather be the Maddie and leave, or be Chloe and leave and come back? I'd rather be Maddie and leave, because they left to do better things. I still don't understand why Christy and Chloe went back to Dance Moms. Like, they said that they wanted closure or whatever, but if I left the dance studio because of how bad they were treating me, I wouldn't need to go back for closure. I'd just be like, okay, I'm on to better things now, I don't need it. I personally think that that was a big money thing. I know that they've said before it wasn't about the money or the exposure, but I think it was, because I can't think of any decent reason why I'd want to go back to a place that's mentally harmed me. Like, I don't know, you can form your own opinions on that, but don't yell at me for having an opinion, okay? Respect my opinion. I'd rather be the Maddie, basically, and leave to go on to better things. Would you rather have dealt with what Sarah went through all week, or be, I think they meant to say perceived, or being perceived as a brat like Giannina? Or being perceived as a brat like Giannina for the whole season. I'd rather be perceived as a brat, because ultimately if I'm not really a brat in real life and Lifetime have just made me look like a brat, I'd be alright with that, because people that really know me know that I'm a nice person. And also, you could easily just have people expose you as a really nice person. It's harder, like for Sarah, she was obviously crying and really upset because of what the moms were doing to her and Michelle, her mom. That was very much real, I think, because you can't really fake being upset. You can just fake the scenario in which you are upset. So I'd much rather just be called a brat when I'm not a brat than be crying every day for a week. Would you rather perform Nia's Laquifa solo or Vivianne's Bumblebee solo? I'd rather do Bumblebee because I think for the whole solo, Nia was doing this. I don't even know what that was. She was just like... whereas Vivianne's solo was quite cute and it did challenge her in a good way because that's what Abby wanted to do. So I'd much rather do the Bumblebee dance. Day so sweet from head to feet. Would you rather be Maddie or Mackenzie? I'd rather be... I feel like Maddie wasn't treated very well by moms or by kind of the press when she was on Dance Moms. Like, it was always like, oh, Maddie's the favourite, Maddie's gonna get everything. And even for really good scenarios, I'd never really give her the credit for it. So I'd rather be Mackenzie in that case, because Mackenzie was more of the underdog and people felt sorry for her, so they were nicer to her. But if it was like now, and I didn't have to have their past, I'd rather be Maddie because she's a dancer and Mackenzie's a singer. Would you rather dance like Mackenzie or Asia? I'd rather dance like Asia because Asia is amazing. Like, if you compare their solos when they were both kind of 7 years old, Asia is so much more powerful and strong, and her arms, oh my gosh, her muscle definition in her arms is amazing. But yeah, I'd rather be Asia. Would you rather be friends with Maddie or Kendall? I'd rather be friends with Maddie because I feel like Maddie's a lot more down to earth. And I've never really liked Kendall that much. Even like when she was younger, obviously I liked her because she's a kid. But her personality as she grew up wasn't the best, or it wasn't perceived as the best on TV. Obviously it could have been completely different in real life. But if we're going off what we see on TV, I'd rather be friends with Maddie. Would you rather have a solo and a duet and a trio, or be in a group dance? P.S. I love you so much. Please read this out. It would mean the world to me. Thank you, Darcy O'Neill. I'd rather have a solo, a duet and a trio because, you know, go big or go home. Even though I said before I'd rather have a group dance than a solo, that's because I'd rather have a solo part in a group dance. So I'd have kind of two things. So yeah, I'd rather go hard and go home and have 3 dances than only one. Would you rather meet the Dance Moms cast or the Next Step cast? Because I've spoken to some of the Next Step cast on Instagram, like on an Instagram live, I'd much rather meet them because I feel like they're more human. Like, Dance Moms is quite a big thing, so they're very much like celebrities to me, whilst the Next Step casts, they're famous, but I feel like I could talk to them more. I don't know, they seem more approachable to me. But I'd love the opportunity to talk to Maddie and Mackenzie, but everyone else I don't really care about that much on Dance Moms, so I'd rather talk to the Next Step. Let's have one more question. We're gonna have, would you rather be Eliana or Liliana? I'd rather be Eliana because, to be honest, like, that solo Lily did, the one where she was in the straitjacket, that was amazing. But I don't really like Lily's dancing that much. I don't know whether it's because, like, obviously she's smaller, so I feel like she hasn't got as much stage presence. I don't know. There's something about Lily's dancing that isn't the favourite to me. I prefer Eliana's dancing, and I prefer her personality as well. I feel like she's a lot more humble and kind of comes off as nicer. Like I say, comes off, because I don't know what they fake on Dance Moms and what they don't. So I'd rather be Eliana, but I wouldn't want either of their moms as my mom. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a Would You Rather Dance Moms edition. I have done a Next Step edition, so if you want to go watch that, I'll leave it up here. But if you don't want to watch that, that's fine. Make sure you like and comment on this video, and also subscribe and turn those notifications on. I post videos every Sunday, but you might as well get here first by clicking that notification. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you next week, guys, for a new video.